Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. There has been update on the Justice League Amazon listing in Germany. Now, the update is coming from BatmanNews.com. And remember how it said 135 minutes, 15 more minutes than the original 2-hour cut of Justice League theatrical? Well, now that listing has changed back, updated back to 2 hours. So it looks like we may not even have an extended cut. This might have been the situation with the theatrical runtimes of Justice League, where every site was spewing different runtime numbers, and we had this whole biting nail runtime fiasco that ended up being only the 2 hours we see in the theaters, from 170, 3 hours. You know, there were so many things on that. So for right now, there's no official word, by the way. It's still unofficial. These are just coming off of websites. But right now, Justice League, the Blu-ray cut, seems to be at exactly the theatrical cut of 2 hours or 119 minutes. So there is that. Also in DC Universe news. Now, this is not exactly DC Extended Universe, Films Universe, but it is part of DC, and it is going to be a movie. And that is the reveal of Teen Titans Go, the teaser, and also the little trailer that popped out today. What are my thoughts on the trailer? It's silly. It's just silly. It really is. Slapstick, fart jokes, come on. Very silly. I did watch a lot of the episodes on the TV show, and also it's on Hulu right now, I believe. And why did I watch those? Well, it's because my kids love them. My kids love this. They love the comedy in it. They love how each little episode is a little story. This is kind of like Family Guy meets Teen Titans, and that's why the Teen Titans, instead of that serious Teen Titan cartoon show that we used to have, they are now more slapstick comedy, and this is the kind of stuff they got. But it seems to be working very well among kids and such, and so they decided to make a movie out of it. And I like how it's really self-aware of itself. You know, they know that Wonder Woman is a huge hit. They know that people are wanting more Wonder Woman, and so they threw that joke in there to become self-aware of what they are, including the Aquaman joke at the end, where it's like, even if Aquaman can get a movie, then we can get a movie. So I'm actually happy that they're very self-aware. They're self-parodying themselves in that sense, and I will watch it. I have no choice. I have to take my kids to watch that movie, and I'll sit through the fart jokes. But it may turn out to be quite enjoyable. There are some episodes that are quite enjoyable, although a lot of times the Teen Titans never end well, which is very fascinating to see. Heroes literally dying in a way, you know, not making it out, but living again the next episode. Very Family Guy style. So that is that. Teen Titans Go is coming out on July 27th of this year, along with that mystery untitled DC film, which I think is just a placeholder and will never be fulfilled. But wouldn't it be great? The Justice League Snyder Cut was done? Yeah, I know. You've heard me say that before. But on to more DC news, because it doesn't seem to stop. There has been a huge update about yesterday's huge fiasco in Warner Brothers and the restructuring that they're talking about. Well, this something just came in, and this came from The Wrap, and of course Mr. Scoopy, the Humberto Gonzalez, he did report on this, or at least he highlighted it. I'm not actually sure he actually wrote this, but this what came out. This is a little bit more about now Chairman Toby Emmerich, and it seems like, yes, he will now have answer to no one but Warner Brothers Entertainment CEO Kevin Tsujihara. So I know from yesterday we heard that he is going to be the day-to-day activities, and Kevin Tsujihara won't even be part of that. So we automatically thought he was just stepping back. Maybe the board is like, you know what, Kevin, you know, you've done some stuff. But this is what Tsujihara told The Wrap. Toby has green light. I have red light. What? What? You mean to tell me You gave this man, Kevin Tsujihara, the man who was reported, if it's true, reported by Variety that he called the stops saying this movie's got to come under 2 hours to fill more seats. This movie has got to be cut this way. This movie has to be released this past year because I need a bonus check. That Kevin Tsujihara now has a red button, a red light button to say stop. I do not like this, what this movie is. We have to change it. That guy? Are you insane? Are you insane? Now this is on the cusp of that, if that Variety report is true. And if that Variety report is true, this is the ultimate worst thing you could possibly do. So what if it's not true? Let's put into consideration that this whole Kevin Tsujihara, whatever Variety reported was not true, then this makes more sense for them to give him the power to do the red light, to be the guy who stops something. Granted, he's not the guy who says go, but he is the guy to say it to stop. And that is very, very, I'm very worried about that. I'm very worried about that. The other thing that this report has talked about is more about veteran, 23-year veteran marketing chief Sue Crow. Now remember, she's stepping down from marketing of these films. So she was part of the marketing for Wonder Woman and Justice League. So having her step down is very interesting. Now the insider for the Wrap says the bizarre decision not to have Superman included in the marketing stopped Justice League from potentially hitting $100 million opening weekend. Of course, we won't really know that for sure because we can't go back in time and put them in and see that actually happen and see that actually take place. But we could speculate, yeah, maybe. I mean, even after I watched my says they should have put him in. I think a lot of people were disappointed that Superman was not in the movie without even watching the movie. I've had people around me in my close-knit circle on a little island in the middle of the water saying that I'm not going to watch this movie, there's no Superman in it. Well, there is Superman in it. And so maybe in hindsight, maybe they should have put Superman in it. Sue Crow had this to say. She said, there's intense scrutiny on everything we do, particularly in this world, in the DC superhero universe. So she realizes that everybody's going to really pinpoint on every little bit because they want to see this thing succeed. They want to look at the faults. They want to zero in microscopically to these type of projects. And so she's very much aware of that. But another insider, one familiar with Crow's thinking, said there may have been a simple reason for her struggles making Justice League fly. She hated superhero movies. She hated superhero movies. Well, that's just great. You've got a person who's not even passionate, maybe not even knowledgeable about superhero movies, market something. There could be great marketers out there who learn and pick up that thing, but having them say this is hated. Hate is such a strong word that almost actually compels you not to do a good job at it. But this is what she had to say. She said that's simply not true. Simply not true. Although a Warner Bros. Rep had no comment on that matter. But she said this: I love superhero movies. I've always considered it an honor to market films that fans feel so passionately about. I think our track record stands for itself. As for the Justice League campaign, I stand behind everything we did. It was a strategic and creative campaign, and I'm immensely proud of the work done by all of us. Now, marketing is very vast. There is so many parts of marketing. I myself in food service marketing, so I'm not an expert in it, and I don't think I'm really that great in it. But marketing has so many parts of it. You know, you got your flyers, you got your posters, and okay, I'm going to talk in movies here. You've got different things. You've got even down to the Twitter emoji, you know, the little symbols. There's so many parts and hands in marketing. And securing the rights to doing things like putting billboards and things like that, you know, all that's part of marketing. Now, a lot of people have said this Justice League marketing wasn't that great. I didn't see it because I was already anticipating to watch it. But I knew a lot of people who didn't even realize that it was coming out. So when I talk to those type of people in my close-knit circle of friends on this small little island in the middle of nowhere, having them say that is disconcerting in a way, and saying, maybe there was something to do with some of the marketing there. In our close knit, you and I, we're nerds, okay? At least I think you are. I am. I knew this movie was coming out when it was announced. I knew this movie was coming out when Batman v Superman was coming out. I had hopes for this movie coming out when Man of Steel came out. You don't have to market to me. I've marketed myself into the thing. So, but for people who have not realized that, that is very disconcerting to say. So maybe she didn't do a great job, If you look at it another type of viewpoint here, maybe she didn't do a great job. And if she did such a great job, look at this. If she did a great job and she really thought about and she knew about superheroes and everything, then why are they making her step down? Did she step down herself? Or is she actually, or did Warner Brothers make her step down? So that is interesting altogether. If she was such passionate for this, and if she was really good at it, she herself would say, I love this, I would continue I'll make the next one successful. And Warner Brothers says, you're really good at it, keep coming back for more. But apparently you're not. Apparently either if you step down yourself, mean you didn't like it, and if they made you step down, that means you weren't good. So that's the reality of it. Whatever you said, whatever you want to say, the facts are that you are no longer the marketing for this anymore, the worldwide marketing of this. Now it's down to these two, I believe they're gentlemen, Blair Rich, might be a lady, I'm not sure, and Ron Sanders. So these two are the ones to take it up. And the whole thing about Kevin Tsujihara, this is what he finally comes out and says something. So he says that Kevin Tsujihara wanted to help Emmerich make DC films find their own identity rather than copying Marvel. This is what he had to say. He says, Warner Brothers needs to continue doing what it's always done, producing the biggest, most diverse slate in the business. That's what made us successful. We can't do what Disney's done. It's worked really, really well for them, but it's not who we are. We need to continue to create a balanced slate of all types of movies and all genres, Tsujihara said. Then why does Justice League look very much more like a Marvel film than what Zack Snyder has done? Was that a hiccup? Was it too far gone that you just said release it already and let's get back to the drawing board? Was it too much money? That's a possibility. That's a huge possibility. Cut your losses and let it go. That's a true business thing. They've done that. Businesses have done that. Cut your losses. Just cut your losses. So if that's true, they were just cutting their losses. They've already put so much money and effort into it. It's time to recoup, get together, regather. Let's get Aquaman get up and going. Let's get Shazam going. Let's get Wonder Woman 2 going. Let's get that Wonder Woman promotion. Let's keep it on. Then that's fine. Then I'm happy with that. I'm actually happy with that because that means they're thinking. They're actually trying to fix it rather than go down a deeper hole. But if these were the people to begin with, according to that Variety article, the people to begin with to make these decisions that make this course on where they are now, where nothing is certain, and they're still in place and still in leadership, then oh my God, we're in trouble. We're in deep doo-doo. And I don't know how this is going to look any better. Hopefully I have more faith in this new guy, even though I don't really know his record other than his horror movies, Walter Hamada. I do have a lot of faith in James Wan. I really like David F. Sandberg. And I like the movie slate that's coming off. Patty Jenkins knocking it out of the park the first time. She's knocked it out of the park with an Oscar in Monster before that. So she knows how to make a movie. And I'm really And I'm really sure she's gonna be able to knock Wonder Woman 2 out of the park, even though it's gonna be a totally different movie. But just these heads up there. Toby Emmerich is the green light. If Walter Hamada says, let's do this, and Toby says yes, and then he looks up at Kevin, and Kevin says no, I mean, where would that go again, right? We're going to be in the same situation as before. It's no longer a director's view. It's whatever Tsujihara wants or whatever Emmerich wants. So that's my point of view of that. It's very upsetting. It's very disconcerting. I'm very apprehensive about this new direction with old leaders, that I don't know where this is going to go. So I'm really much hoping what's going to happen in December. That's all we can see. And, we'll see what's happening at San Diego Comic-Con, where they're going to have a new slate, hopefully. Or not the same slate as we see in Brazil, but a new slate of movies and a new sense of direction will come out. We'll hear more. I mean, we've heard these two big stories in the matter of 2 days. There's a lot more coming. I can tell you that. There's going to be a lot more coming out. I can tell you that. They need to regain the confidence of the DC fans from before and gain confidence of non-fans from before. So there's that. Another news, not so heavy-handed. Godzilla vs. Kong is going to film this year. Yes, it's literally not going to be until 2020 when the two giant monsters finally fight. Godzilla, win, please. But this is what this is a report from Gomaru Island, and they got it from Atlanta, Georgia's Business Chronicle. And they said there's a lot of industry goals from Atlanta. A lot of films are being shot there. I think even was one of the Marvel movies was all shot there. But he said that Thomas said she thinks the industry will continue building momentum throughout 2018 with more shows coming town, reportedly including Godzilla vs. King Kong. Now, Thomas is referring to an interview with Film Office Chief Lee Thomas in Atlanta. Godzilla vs. King Kong is going to shoot this year, which makes sense because there's going to be a lot of heavy-handed special effects, but I'm glad they're moving ahead with it without waiting for Godzilla King of the Monsters to come out before even acting on Godzilla vs. King Kong. But and Adam Wingard is doing that, so I'm glad to hear that with all the negative reaction to Death Note, even though I actually enjoyed it in a different light, that Adam Wingard is still continuing to do this, as least we think he is. So if that's the case, they're shooting this year, that means they got a story in place and they got a slate all together and they know exactly and outline exactly of where this movie is going, and that's great. Hopefully at the end of that draft it says Godzilla wins. Hopefully. In other superhero news, Black Widow is finally getting a movie. Black Widow is finally getting a movie. Marvel enlists Blacklist alum Jack Schaefer, I can't really pronounce her name, to write the Marvel movie for Black Widow. Is this going to be an origin movie or a standalone after the Avengers Infinity War? Not sure. They're not really saying that yet. But this is the Black Widow everybody's been waiting for, apparently. I myself am not. Yeah, this is not just bias, okay? I am looking forward to Captain Marvel with Brie Larson than Black Widow. Why? Because I like superhero movies, and Black Widow to me is going to be another Atomic Blonde, another Point of No Return, another La Femme Nikita, another just recently Red Sparrow with Jennifer Lawrence. It's another spy, assassin female movie. There's nothing wrong with that. I think there's a huge audience for that. But I'm particularly would not. If there was a choice in theaters where there's Captain Marvel with Brie Larson, not just him, Captain Marvel with Brie Larson and Black Widow, I am automatically seeing Captain Marvel 2 times more than I'm going to go see Black Widow. That's just my preference, because unless there's going to be a whole bunch of other superheroes in a Black Widow movie, for me it's just another female assassin movie. She is beautiful, she is sexy, but I probably only watch it once. I'm not really excited for a Black Widow, but I'm glad that Marvel is actively making more of these movies now. They're really expanding on it. Are we gonna see a Hawkeye movie? I don't know. But does anybody want a Hawkeye movie? But I'm really glad they're expanding on their little universes. Hopefully it ends up to something more than just, I want to be the next person that makes a female-led superhero movie. You're already doing that, Captain Marvel. And Wonder Woman already beat you by, a year. So, but that's that. Black Widow is being made. For you guys who are happy about that, I'm happy for you, and I'm happy that they are making more female-led superhero-esque movies. I'm just not one that's excited for Black Widow, but I am excited for Captain Marvel. Alright guys, that's it. What do you guys think about all the DC news for today? And what do you guys think about the Black Widow? Are you excited for Black Widow? And are you excited for Godzilla vs. Kong? Place your bets now. Godzilla or Kong? Godzilla, right? I hope it's Godzilla. I'm actually going to be on a business trip in these next 2 days. So I'm going to take my computer with me, but not this terrible microphone and not this okay camera, and especially not this lighting. So you may see a hotel background. Don't be alarmed. I have not got kicked out of my house for any reason. It's just for a business trip, and I will be back here on Saturday. Alright guys, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.